What is up, guys? You're about to watch me play Skyrim with a six-sided die. I'm going to allow the six-sided die to make my choices for me. But before we get into that, I want to cover a few things. So I'm going to be using a handful of mods for this playthrough. Every big game-changing mod will be in the description, accompanied by a brief summary of what they do, as well as why I have them. Aside from that, there is going to be 3 things I've decided not to roll for. First of all, I initially thought it would be fun to roll for difficulty, but to be honest with you guys, I have not once touched the difficulty settings on Skyrim, so I just don't think I'm gonna. The goal of this playthrough is simply to have fun and see where the die takes me, so I think risking the game being too easy or too hard is not worth it. For that same reason, I'm not gonna roll for survival mode either. And lastly, I'm not going to roll for gender, which is a weird thing, but I want to play as a chick. And trust me, it's not because I'm one of those guys that say, I don't want to look at a man's ass. In fact, I play in first person. The real reason I want to girl boss it up on this playthrough is actually because I've never done it. I typically like to create my characters in any sort of role-playing game as avatars for myself, so I make them a man and I name them Caleb, and I just play as myself. But for this playthrough, I want to shake it up, so I'm gonna be a chick. Now at the beginning of the game, while we're in a wagon, I'm going to roll the die, the first ever roll in this whole playthrough, and whatever number that is the number I'm going to have to roll for decisions that are going to be like one-off decisions, or like decisions that aren't really proposed to me. For example, I know I said I wasn't going to roll for survival mode, and that is because I'm not going to roll for survival mode, but let's say I did roll for survival mode. I wouldn't want it to be like, if I roll a 1 through a 3, I won't play it, and if I roll a 4 through 6, I will, you know, because I don't want to give survival mode as much of a chance as not survival mode, if that makes sense. Let's say when I roll in the wagon, I roll a 5. Now, for every decision like survival mode, I have to roll a 5 for that decision. And lastly, I like to immerse myself in the game's story, and therefore, I like to roleplay a bit. So I'm gonna give my character a backstory and an in-universe reason for being so chaotic. And unless the fates decide I'm a Nord, this is the story I'm gonna run with. My character was born to whichever location her race comes from, and she's always had a chaotic nature. However, she's not an absolute psychopath, and she does feel guilt for the pain she causes. So, she's decided to surrender her free will to a handcrafted six-sided die. This allows her to live chaotically while feeling no guilt because she no longer feels responsible for her actions. The day she started to live by the die, she decided to start her reign of chaos elsewhere. So she rolled the cube, and it directed her to Skyrim, where she walked right into an Imperial trap. And you know the rest. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my playthrough of Skyrim using a six-sided die. This is actually my second attempt trying to film this, because as soon as we got out of the wagon, the game crashed, and then the footage I captured also was like corrupted, so, you know, hopefully it doesn't happen this time. So I've actually had this idea for a while now, and I wanted to focus on movie content, movie reviews, that sort of thing before I actually did this, because movies are my passion, games are my hobby, so I wanted the focus of my channel to be a shut the hell up, Rayloff. I wanted the focus of the channel to be more on the movie stuff. Now, as I said on the intro, I'm going to need to roll the die, and that'll be the, whatever number I use will be the impromptu number I use for those weird offshoot decisions. So, and it is a 3. And you've already seen all this, so I'll just do that thing where it goes like really fast. Alright, welcome back, guys.
Who are you?
This does not look like... This does not look like what I'm used to. I don't know what mod that is. Dude, I don't want all that. That's way too much. I don't know what the hell this is. Okay, I'm going to disable whatever mod this is. And then I'm gonna come back. Okay, we're back. And I'm glad I did that because there were a lot of mods that I could have swore I've deleted that were still like in the game. So I don't know what the hell that was all about. That mod, by the way, was called Race Menu, and I've never used it in my life, so I don't know why the hell I had that downloaded.
Who are you?
Well, we're about to find out, aren't we? Okay. Alright, here's how we're gonna do this. 1 or 2, and I do from the top half. 3 or 4, and I do from the bottom half. 5 and 6, and I pick my 6 favorite races and then roll from that. Oh, and I also don't have a dice cam, so you guys are just gonna have to take my word for whatever it rolls on. But I swear, I promise to God, I'm doing this totally honest and legit. I think the more I try to defend myself, the more it's gonna sound like I'm not gonna be honest and legit, but you're watching, aren't you? 4. That was bottom half. So this is gonna be 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. And it's a 1. We're a fucking Imperial. That's kind of boring, but whatever. Alright, as you guys know, that's us. 1, 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. 3. Like right here. Alright, weight. We're gonna do the same thing for weight. 4. Oh. Alright, complexion. Alright. This will be 1 and 6, and then the rest are gonna be what they are. It's a 6. We're staying complexion the same. I don't think we're gonna put dirt on the character. Alright, so there's 13 scars. Well, technically there's 12 scars. Alright, if I roll a 3, no scars. If I roll anything else, we're gonna do scars. That's gonna be one of those impromptu things. I rolled a 5. Okay, so we're gonna give her a scar. 6 again, so it's gonna be one of the last 2 scars. 1 through 3, it's gonna be this one, and then anything above that, it'll be this one. 6. Alright, we're going with these scars here. War paint. Alright, we're gonna do the opposite this time. So if I roll a 3, we're gonna give her war paint. If I roll anything else, no war paint. But I rolled a 3. Okay, there's 15. I don't even know how to do that. Okay, if I roll a 3 again, it's gonna be one of the last 3. But if I don't roll a 3, it's gonna be one of the first 12. Oh, the dice went over here. It's a 1. Okay, so it's gonna be one of the first 12. And that was a 6. So it's either gonna be this one, or this one. Okay, so 1 through 3, 4 through 6. Alright, it's gonna be the first one. Alright, color. Alright, we're gonna give the default color, this color right here, 2 spaces to make it 24. And then we're gonna roll. This is gonna count for 1 and 24. 6. It'll be between the last 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then 6 is the first one. Let's go. 6. Okay. All that to stay on the same one. Alright, nose type. Alright, 18. So splitting it up into thirds. 4, so that'll be the middle ones, the middle 6. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5. Well, not the prettiest nose, but nose height. You know what? We're gonna cut this poor girl a break and give her a relatively fine nose height, and we're gonna tone that nose down a little bit. We don't want to make her look like the fucking Wicked Witch of the West here. You know, I kind of don't want to fuck with all this. This is a lot of stuff to fuck with. Let's just get right to the eyes. Hope you guys don't mind if I munch on a cucumber. Alright. There's 17. We're going to count the first one for 2 again. 6. So it'll be the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the first one will be 6. 1. So these are the eyes. Eye color. Alright, 1 through 3, it'll be the first 10, and then, you know, well, I kind of caught that. I don't know if it's cheating. I'm gonna roll again. Okay, 5. So it'll be the last 10 eye colors. Alright, if I roll a 3, it'll be these eyes. Roll anything else, it'll be one of the other 9. 3. We're sticking with these eyes. Eye tint. What the hell does that mean? Oh. We don't need all that shit, do we? I don't think so. Thank God they're making this one easy. There is 12, so 2. So it's either this one or this one. 2. That's this one. So this one is the one we're going with. Mouth. 18, so 4. 3. These are the lips we're running with. So there are 7 lip colors. If I roll a 3, it'll be these. If not, I'll roll for the other ones. It's not. Alright, so let's see which one it's gonna be. 1. That's our lip color. For hair, we're gonna roll for... If I roll a 3, it'll be this one or this one. If I roll something else, we're gonna have to roll some more. It's a 3. Alright, 1 through 3. 4 through 6. Alright, it's a 5. This is our hair. So stupid. Alright, if I roll a 3, it's going to be one of these shades of blonde. If not, I'm going to roll for the other 12. It's a 1. Let's do this. 3. So it's either going to be this one or this one. And it is this one. This is our hair color. Alright, this is one of the most boring and hideous characters I've ever made in my life. Now, time to think of a name. Or 6 names. Alright, I got my 6 names. If I roll a 1, Titius. If I roll a 2, Jewel Scissor. You know, like Julius Caesar, but it's a, you know, but like the Skyrim version. I don't think they have scissors in Skyrim. Do they have scissors in Skyrim? Ello? Like Jello without the J. 4, I thought, okay, maybe there's like, she goes by like a nickname regarding her, you know, her chaotic way of living. So maybe she goes by the Cube. 5, along those same lines, Mad Woman. Maybe she just introduces herself as Mad Woman. 6, Sweet Roll. And that's not a nickname. Her parents have legally named her Sweet Roll if this is the option that we're going with. Alright. 2. That was my least favorite one. This is so stupid.
You're a long way from the Imperial City. What are you doing in Skyrim?
That's none of your business, pal.
What should we do? She's not on the list.
Forget the list. She goes to the block.
By orders, Captain.
I guess you guys don't need to watch this either.
Make sure-
Next, the renegade from Cyrodiil.
Oh, that's me. I think I'm gonna refer to her as Julie when I'm like referring to her name. Her name is gonna be Jewel Scissor, obviously, but
What in oblivion is that?
that's a dragon, dumbass. This is not looking good for Julie. Maybe I'll just call her Jewel. No, that's a type of vape. This is like the worst. I shouldn't even have wrote that down. I hate the name. I actually hate the name.
What is that thing?
This is the biggest regret of my life.
Legends don't burn down villages.
I'm just gonna call her Scissors. I didn't even use an S when naming her. We're gonna call her Scissors.
The tower. Let's go.
It sounds like a lesbian slur. Oh! Alright, Slowpoke, I'm heading out. Catch you on the flip side. You know, you never really take time to appreciate these moments. Now, I am gonna roll for whether I go with Hadvar or Ralof, but I do want to note that that's not going to decide the Civil War quest line,
Keep close to me if you
but
want
it
to stay
is
down.
going to give whoever I go with the advantage.
I have to find General Tullius and
So if I end up going with Hadvar here, it's gonna be,
guide you, Hadvar.
I'm gonna have more of a chance of joining the Imperials than I would the Stormcloaks.
Stay close to the wall.
But there is always a chance that I join the Stormcloaks. Oh, the wall, he said. They're both fucking walls.
Quickly, follow me.
If I didn't know any better, I would think I've never played this game.
It's you, Doc. Stay close.
Oh my god, what happened? Okay. Alright. 1 through 3 were Hadvar. 4 through 6, Rayloff.
Out of my way.
4. Alright, I think I'm going with Rayloff then.
Looks like we're the only ones who made it.
God damn.
That thing was a dragon. No doubt. Just like the children's stories and the legends.
He's got so much life in those eyes.
Harbinger something. Come here. Let me see if I can get those bindings off.
About time.
There you go.
Thanks.
May as well take Gunyor's gear. He won't be needing it anymore.
Alright.
Alright.
If I roll a 3, I punch Rayloff.
Get that out.
1. Okay. Alright, let's fuck some shit up.
Get this gate open.
Are they here? Are they here? I don't see them. Okay. Oh, they're double teaming me. Stamina low. Oh! That was hardcore. Alright, if I roll a 1 or 2, I stay in my armor. If I roll a 2 or 3, I wear this guy's armor. I mean 3 or 4, 5, 6, okay. 5. We're taking her sword too.
Here we are.
Alright. We don't need those. We don't need those. We don't need that no more.
The
We're,
key.
we're a true Imperial.
See if it opens that door.
Hell yeah, bro.
Dragon brings the whole
This is
tower
so
down on
badass. Ugh. Come on at me. How do you know I'm a Stormcloak? I don't appear to be one. Mouse click simulator. We gotta find some potions. We're gonna need them. There's one. There's one.
It's locked. See if you can get it open with some picks. We might need that gold once we get out. Grab anything useful and let's go.
Okay. Yeah, I got it. Oh, whoa, my settings were weird. Nailed it. In case we end up doing a magic build, I'm gonna take his clothes. Alright, cool. Oh, something I want to do as well for this game is under powers and shouts when I get shouts, except for those. I'm gonna roll for what power or shout I used at the beginning of the video, and then that is gonna be the only power or shout I'm going to use for that episode, unless of course I need one for a quest. Oh, there is gold in here. You know what they say about Imperials? I'm gonna stop that sentence there.
Hold up. There's a bear just ahead. See her? I'd rather not tangle with her right now. Let's try to sneak by. Just take it nice and slow. And watch where you step. Or if you're feeling lucky, you can take this book.
Alright. 1 or a 2, we sneak by the bear. 3 or a 4, and I use the bow to sneak attack. 5 or a 6, and I just walk right up to it and hit it. 4. Alright, we're gonna do the bow. We're gonna do the bow stuff.
Go ahead. I'll
Alright.
follow your lead and watch your back. Sneaking is overrated, eh?
What do you mean sneaking? I'm literally sneaking. Uh-oh. Little help, fucking Rayloff. Dude, what the hell? Dude, he just let that thing attack me. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Right in the knee. Nope. As we learned. But I want to see. Okay. If I were to roll for this, it would be a 3. Wouldn't have happened anyway. So there's like a little mine. If I roll a 3, I'm gonna abandon Rayloff after the stones and go attack those guys in the mine. It's a 5. I'm not doing that. That place used to scare me when I was a kid. When I was playing Skyrim as a little baby boy. That was a pretty spooky place, to be honest. All right, the stones. Like Ty's family. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This will definitely influence my playstyle. 2. Ooh, thief. We're gonna do a stealth archer build, probably.
See for yourself. It's never too late to take charge of your own fate, you know.
Ha! You're speaking to the wrong person, Rayloff. In fact, if Scissors rolls a 3, she's gonna jump into that fucking waterfall. Is it 2? Alpha Wolf. Dude, I don't know what fucking mods I have, to be honest with you guys. I don't know where the fuck that's from. Here we are. We're gonna go talk to Gardar. There she is. In all her beauty. Look over there. Look.
Brother, Mara's mercy, it's good to see you. But
What about
is it
me?
safe for you to be here?
If I just wait an hour.
Uncle Raylo. All right then.
Oh my god. It took him a whole fucking hour to finish that sentence.
We stopped in Helgen this morning, and I thought it was all over. Had this line
The hell are you looking at? That's what I thought.
Here's the key to the house.
Thank you.
Stay as long as you
God
like.
damn.
If there is anything else you need, just let me know.
Maybe talk a little faster next time. Oh, I'll take the bread and the carrots and the cheese and the meat and the healing potions and the apple. I'll take that ring and I'll take this tomato. Thanks.
There is something you could do
Oh, of
for
course.
all of us here. The Jarl needs to know if there's a dragon.
On second thought, you can have your tomato
Even if it's
back.
defenseless. We need to get word to Jarl Balgruuf in Whiterun to send whatever troops he can. If you'll do that for me, I'll be in your debt.
Thank
Alright, let's go loot her
Well,
house.
back to work.
Barrel, give me that bread, give me that cheese, give me that bread, give me that bread, give me that cheese, give me that barrel. Take all their sex flour. Alright, potato, sear slaughterfish, sear slaughterfish, sear slaughterfish. I don't eat eggs. It's always good to read books because they might give, you know, skill points. I forgot what wine does, we'll take it anyway. Ooh, creepy. Alright. You may be wondering why I'm manually doing all that. It's fun. Put your hand on. Almost missed that. Can I take that bread? And this is where it gets really fun. So if I roll a 1, I go to Whiterun. If I roll a 2, I join the Stormcloak Rebellion. If I roll a 3, I do a Riverwood quest. If I roll a 4, I do some exploring. If I roll a 5, I commit a crime. And if I roll a 6, I go trade some things. It's doing the spinny thing. 6. Oh, that's boring. Okay, we're trading.
Has to do something.
I said no. No adventures, no theatrics, no thief chasing.
Well, what are you going to do then, huh? Let's hear it.
Yeah, let's hear it.
We are done talking about this.
Oh, okay.
A customer.
Let's ask him about it, huh?
Yeah, we did have a bit of a break-in. We still have plenty to sell. Robbers were only after one thing. An ornament. Solid gold in the shape of a dragon's claw.
Sounds like adventure. I could help you get the claw back.
You could? I've got some coin coming in from my last shipment. It's yours if you bring my claw back. Now, if you're going...
Alright, so I have to sell something and I have to buy something. Alright, if I roll a 1, I have to sell a weapon. If I roll a 2, I have to sell one of my pieces of armor. If I roll a 3, I have to sell my mage gear that I'm saving in case I'm a mage. If I roll a 4, I have to sell some consumables. If I roll a 5, I have to sell multiple of my weapons. And if I roll a 6, I have to sell multiple of my armor. It's a 4. Consumables. Alright. If I roll a 1, I have to sell all of my lockpicks. If I roll a 2, I have to sell all of my potions. If I roll a 3, I have to sell all of my food, and including the drink. If I roll a 4, I have to sell half of everything. If I roll a 5, I have to sell all of my consumables. And if I roll a 6, I get to choose what I sell. But the die gets to decide how much of it I sell. Better yet, if I roll a 6, I sell a little bit of everything, but the die decides how much. Oof, it's a 1. Goodbye lockpicks. That's not good. That's terrible. If I roll a 1, I buy a backpack. If I roll a 2, I buy a fishing rod. If I roll a 3, I buy consumables. If I roll a 4, I buy armor. If I roll a 5, I buy a weapon. And if I roll a 6, it's a spell tome. 6. Alright. If I roll a 3, it'll be one of the first 3. If I roll anything else, it'll be one of the other ones. It's gonna be... So those 3 are off the table. Alright, and I'm gonna roll for... Which one it's gonna be? 1. So it's either gonna be Clairvoyance or a Conjure Spectral Wolf. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 6. Oh, so close to Clairvoyance. And that is... that is so bad, dude. I am not having good luck with these rolls. Alright.
Alright then.
Yeah, alright then.
So this...
Clairvoyance, baby. Alright, speaking of which, what is my goal? So I'm thinking... Oh, I threw away the paper.
We
Give me a
have to
second.
go through town and across the bridge to get to Bleak Falls Barrow.
Whoa, what?
You can see it from here, though. The mountain just over the buildings. This way.
Is she showing me to Bleak
Those
Falls
thieves
Barrows?
must be mad hiding out there.
If I roll a 3, I follow her. Otherwise, I'm not going to let her dictate what the fuck I'm doing. Yeah, alright. So, instead, if I roll a 1, I go to Whiterun. If I roll a 2, I do the Civil War questline. I join the Stormcloak Rebellion. If I roll a 3, I follow this chick to Bleak Falls Barrow. If I roll a 4, I do a different Riverwood quest. If I roll a 5, I explore. And if I roll 6, I commit a crime. 1. We're going to Whiterun. Alright, well, see you later, lady. I think this is a good place to end the video.